Good morning, children. Our today's topic is molecular movement. In the previous class itself, we saw about the introduction or the definition of the molecular movement. Let's see it in detail. What is meant by molecular movement? Molecular movement means movement of different kinds of molecules, and in biology, it means that the movement of biomolecules from one part of an organism to another part of that organism. So these biomolecules, they are produced due to result of various metabolism. Let's see what is biomolecule. So let's start from the etymology. Here the etymology, I hope you remember the meaning of etymology. What is that? Yeah, so learning the how a name is derived and what is the meaning of the particular term, okay, from which term it's derived. So all these things is called as etymology. So now when it comes to biomolecules, the first term bio means life or living. So if it is biomolecules, then what does it mean? See, the molecules related to living things are called as biomolecules. Children, you would have learnt in chemistry that all those big objects around you, they are made up of molecules. So these molecules, they combine with similar type of molecules and they form a larger structure. Okay, so any kind of object, let it be living thing or non-living thing, they are made up of only molecules. So when it comes to living things, they are made up of biomolecules. Only the biomolecules can help an animal or an organism to exist, to also to do various functions inside the body of an organism. To learn what is the role played by these biomolecules in an organism, we have to learn its types. See here. So we are going to see about the different types of biomolecules which are found in the living organism. So the first one is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are derived from carbohydrate food. For example, if we eat rice, potato, banana, the sweetness which we taste in different kinds of fruits. So all these are the carbohydrate. So these carbohydrate is made up of glucose molecules, right children? So here these ones, when we eat these carbohydrate, they get digested. See, our body cannot take carbohydrate as such. So what we need to do, if we want to eat rice, we have to cook it, isn't it? So only if you cook the rice, what will happen? It becomes the molecules that can be absorbed by the body. Our body cannot take up the carbohydrate found in rice, and that kind of carbohydrate is called as cellulose, and that cannot be digested by our body. So when once we eat any kind of food, that food needs to get digested. So if we eat carbohydrate, these carbos, they are digested into different types of glucose molecules. So like fruits and all contain fructose. It is also a kind of glucose molecule, and if you drink milk, lactose is the carbohydrate found in the milk. Similarly, each and every fruit, it has its own type of glucose, and it's not different in all the each and every fruit, but few fruits they will be containing the same type of glucose. The next type of biomolecule is derived from protein. So protein, when we eat protein food. So for example, all kinds of pulses, you might have heard about beans, okay. So all these things also in meat. These are the sources of protein. So here these protein, when they get digested, the end product of proteins is amino acids. So these amino acids, they are used up our body to build the body for growth, okay, and also for repairing. If there is any kind of damage in our body, these amino acids help in that. And the next type of nutrient is lipids. So this lipid, it is derived from fat. Lipids are derived from fats. So we used to eat different kinds of food containing fat, for example oil, butter, cheese, etc. So here the end product of digestion of fat is fatty acid and glycerol. Fatty acid plus glycerol. So this our body will take up this fatty acid and glycerol, and it will build up the lipid molecules. And the next nutrient is nucleic acid. Do you know where these nucleic acids are present? Nucleic acids are found in the DNA and RNA. So RNA is a molecule in our body which leads to the production of different kinds of protein. So how, in what form are these protein present in our body? They are present as, see, muscles, hormones, enzymes. So this is how our body contains protein. Okay, so that is a use of protein also. And here, so this DNA, when it comes to DNA, the expanded form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxyribonucleic acid. So here this nucleic acid. So this is a one we are studying about. So nucleic acids are very important components of DNA and RNA. And from where can we get it? From all kinds of living substance. Okay, from all kinds of living substance. So whatever fruits or all kinds of non-vegetarian, that is a meat or anything you eat, they all contain this nucleic acid molecules. I told you these biomolecules, see, if it is carbohydrate, it is made up of glucose, isn't it? And similarly, if it is fat, it is made up of fatty acid and glycerol. Acid plus glycerol combines to form this lipids, and so we call it as it is lipids biologically. And next one is proteins. So proteins, they are broken down into amino acids. See here. So these and how they are built up by our body. So shall we see that how our body makes use of this, or how it is building up into larger molecules. So here, see, first one is a nucleic acid. So nucleic acid, it is a complex molecule. Complex molecule means, see, it is made up of single units. Okay, so the single unit is called as a nucleotide. Okay, so many nucleotides, they combine together and they form this nucleic acid. And the next one is a carbohydrate. So here this carbohydrate, I told you, it is made from, see here, these biomolecules just now we saw, let it be a nucleic acid, carbohydrate, lipids or proteins, they are complex molecules, and these complex molecules, these complex molecules, they are made up of simple units, simple or single units. So these single units are otherwise called as monomers. They are called as monomers. So these monomers, they combine together and they form the polymers. So many monomers they join together. So for example, see, they chemically they have formed a bond. Okay, so you will be studying about bond formation in chemistry. So all these are chemical molecules. Okay, so here they will be forming chemical compounds, so with the help of bonds. So that is how these monomers build themselves into polymers. See, so this single unit of carbohydrate is called as monosaccharide. So many monosaccharides, they join together and form the polysaccharides. So poly means many and saccharides, it refers to the sugar molecules, okay, or glucose molecules. So this polysaccharide is otherwise called as what? Carbohydrate. And the next molecule is the lipid, and I told you at the beginning that lipid is made up of fatty acid and glycerol. So this is how what to say, this is not just a picture. They have depicted the compound, lipid compound or lipid molecule in the form of this animated picture, so that it will be easy for you to understand. And the next biomolecule is a protein, and the building unit of this protein is amino acid. So many amino acids, they have combined together and they have formed peptide bonds. So the peptide bond unites amino acids and it forms the larger polypeptide. So smaller amino acids, they join together and form the peptide molecules, and many peptide molecules, when they join together, they form the polypeptide molecules, which in other words we call as protein molecules. Hope you understood, children. See, this is the animated image of building of these biomolecules. In this topic, now we are going to see how these biomolecules are transported from the spot of digestion. Okay, so we know that digestion takes place in our intestine, in our stomach and intestine. So here this complete digestion takes place in the small intestine. So these, after completion of digestion, they are absorbed by the blood. So to facilitate for the absorption of these molecules by the blood, here our small intestine, it consists of small finger like structures. You will see a video of this, but before that it will be better if I give you an idea, you can understand it in better way. So it consists of small finger like structures called as villi. So villi, plural is villi, singular is villus. So this villus, we have nearly millions of villus in our small intestine, and these structures, it helps in the absorption of the digested biomolecules. See here, so it looks like this, the villus, and it consists of a central structure called as lacteal. This lacteal, it is surrounded with the blood vessels. Okay, so this blood vessels See here, this lacteal is the unit which helps in the absorption of fatty acid and glycerol. Okay, and this blood vessels, they absorb the glucose molecules and amino acids. So the digested glucose molecules and amino acids are absorbed by the blood vessels. Okay, and the fatty acid and glycerol are absorbed by the lacteal. So I hope you have got an idea now. If we see this video, you will get thorough with the concept. Let's go into the video. See, this is our digestive system, and this shows the pathway of the food into the from stomach into the small intestine. So the all kinds of digestion will complete in the small intestine. This is a CS of small intestine, and so this brush like border, that is the villi. So that red colored highlighted portion, and this is ultrastructure of villi. Here they show that as if the food is appearing the villi. See, this purple color structure is a lacteal, I told you. So it helps in the absorption of fatty acid and glycerol, and it will be taken into the lymph. And this red and blue color structure, that is a blood vessel which absorbs the glucose and amino acids, the end product of digestion of carbohydrate and protein. So next video, this video shows the flow of red blood cells, right? So the red blood cells, that is they form the blood in our body. So see this, they help in the transport of different kinds of molecules. For example, they help to take up the oxygen from lungs. See, we know that we take in oxygen by breathing. So only red blood cells can bind with the oxygen molecules. And similarly, not these red blood cells, blood consists of other molecules and the plasma and all. So these food, digested food, or any kind of waste materials which is produced by the cells, all these things, they are removed only with the help of blood. So here this RBCs, the bubble like structures which appear in the RBCs, see, they show the release of gas into the tissues. See, this is a part from your book. See, the movements over very small scales, they are not visible to the naked eye. So what is meant by naked eye? Our normal eye is called as a naked eye. So we cannot see them with the normal eyes, the movement of these molecules. So they are invisible to the naked eye. Though they are invisible, they are asking if whether this kind of molecular movement is necessary for our life or for the life of an organism. So is it necessary for our life? Of course. See, only with the help of the such kind of supply our body can exist, or not only our body, all kinds of organism, they need such kind of transport of molecules, right? So here, see, just now I told you how these biomolecules are produced in our body, right? So they have to, so all these biomolecules, they have to be carried from the site of production, that is the small intestine, to each and every cell. So each cell needs this molecules. So especially when it comes to glucose molecules, see, each and every cell needs this glucose molecule, because a major requirement of our body is energy. Okay children, so here this energy, from where do we get this energy? When this glucose molecule is broken by the oxygen molecule, it releases energy. Okay, so here each and every cell needs glucose and oxygen without interruption. So they will keep on using the glucose molecule, they will keep on breaking the glucose molecules with the help of oxygen, and they will be releasing the energy. So as a result, it produces waste material also, like if the oxygen is used up, carbon dioxide will be released. So all these kinds of things will be taking place inside the cell continuously. So there is a need of this transport of molecule, not only for supplying to the cells, but also in case of removal also we need this. And the next passage is, see, viruses. So what about such molecular movement in viruses? Do viruses show any molecular movement in them? Yeah, see, they don't show any molecular movement, because these viruses, they have only this protein machinery which helps them to multiply. They don't have any other cytoplasm or anything. So since there is no cytoplasm in the body of an virus, it doesn't require any living medium to be alive. Okay, it needs living medium only for multiplication, that is increasing in its size. So for multiplying in number, that is a reproduction. Okay, so only for reproduction it requires the living medium. Other than that, it does not require any kind of living medium. It can exist outside the body. So only at the beginning, when these viruses were discovered, scientists had the controversy if these organisms are truly living or not. They were really confused whether to keep this viruses along with the living organisms, living things or non-living things. Let's see how the biomolecules make up an entire organism. So here, see, the atoms are the units which makes up the molecules, and these molecules, and when it comes to living thing, it is called as biomolecules. They, see, few molecules, that is we saw that them as a monomer, they combine together and form the polymer. So macromolecules or polymers. Okay, so these macromolecules, they combine together and form the organelle. What is an organelle, ma'am? Organelles are the different parts of the cell. Okay, parts of a cell. So they are called as organelle, and only with the help of organelle all functions are done by a cell. So if a cell needs to function properly and complete its role, it needs these organelles. So only these organelles do all these functions inside a cell. Okay, so it is called as the organelle. And so these organelles, they combine together and they form the whole cell. And similar type of cells, so similar type of cells means which are the cells need to be similar in their structure and function. So such cells, they combine together. So one cell will, so few, see, they combine together and they form the tissues. We have studied about this in the previous class. And these tissues, see, the related tissues, not same kind of tissue is found in an organ. See, for example, this is a stomach. Okay, so the stomach, it is a hollow organ, so it has a lining which we call as the epithelium. So epithelium means skin like structure. So this epithelium puts a lining like lining structure around any kind of hollow organ. Otherwise we know that, see, we will be receiving the food inside the stomach, and this food will hurt the muscles if it is not protected properly. So this stomach, it consists of this epithelium, and we know that for digesting purpose HCl is secreted inside the stomach, so it consists of special type of cells which secretes the HCl. And similarly mucus, see epithelium inside the stomach is protected with the help of mucus, so it consists of this mucin. Okay, so it consists of special cells which secretes this mucus. So a particular organ, it is not made up of a single type of tissue, so different kinds of related tissues, they join together and they form this organ. So related organs, they form the organ system. And we know that a human body or an animal body consists of different types of organ system, like respiratory system, circulatory system, excretory system. So all these organ system have their own function, and they finally make up the whole organism. What if there is no movement? Okay, why do we need such movement? See, molecules need to be continually supplied and waste material need to be continuously removed. Okay, so if this do not happen, what will happen? There will be an accumulation. See, if this molecules, the required molecules are not supplied continuously, there will be a deficiency, and this deficiency will lead to lack of energy. Okay, so there will be a shortage of energy. So sometimes if we don't eat food properly, what will happen? We may faint. Okay, so because our body needs energy and there is no energy inside our body to supply, so only if these molecules are supplied continuously, our body can do its function properly. Next one is a waste material. So after this metabolic activities, waste materials are also continuously accumulating, so it should not get accumulated in our body. So the accumulation of see, the accumulation of this waste material, they are dangerous to our body, and they will provide a toxic condition inside the body. So we should, all these waste materials must be removed properly and continuously. So for why do we need these such a continuous supply? Say, already we have seen that these living creatures must keep on repairing and maintaining their structures, and since they are made up of small molecules, they need all these molecules around them at all the time. So if the continuous movement breaks, so these more normal functions won't take place, and see, there won't be enough vital elements required for the survival or the removal of the waste material. So what will happen? So it will lead to the collapse of the whole system, that is sometimes even it can even lead to the death of the organism. So now what is life process? Life process is a basic functions maintained by living organisms to maintain their life on earth. Is called as what? Is this called as the life process? So here see, nutrition and respiration. Nutrition is a process which helps to get energy. Respiration is a process which helps to get oxygen and removal of carbon dioxide, and the transport and excretion. So all kinds of these energy or waste material, they need to be removed at proper time. So only blood is a tool of transport inside our body, and this excretion, it helps in the removal of waste material. And next one is the movement. So higher organism, especially animals, they need to move from one place to another. And we also saw about the two types of movement that is being exhibited by plants. And next one is a control and coordination. So our brain is the organ which controls and manages, and it maintains a kind of equilibrium inside the body. Okay, and next one is reproduction. So reproduction is also must, because it helps an organism from not extincting. Okay, so from otherwise, see, each and every species, they undergo reproduction, even if it is a virus, just because it wants to maintain its species in the world. Okay, so this reproduction is also important. So see children, I have given few questions here. Kindly go through the questions and find the answers for this question. Write it in your CW, take photos of them and upload it in the Google Classroom. If you have any doubt, kindly contact me through the WhatsApp, or you can even call me and clarify your doubts. Thank you.